Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Reviews where today we have ourselves a track from an act named CosMatrix titled BOMBA. And if we switch over to here we have ourselves a track on the screen on YouTube and we're going to listen through it from start to finish and we're going to hear what we think. And we've got it full screen, so let's go, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Straight in with the 808s.
You done know. It's CosMatrix. Back with another one. Nemo and Cosmo.
That build though.
Let's go. Come now. Yes, sir. Baby so bomba, sweet body bumper. Make my saliva drip from the hunger. Pull her in closer, she love when I choke her. Sucking on her body, call me the king cobra. Baby love it when I ride it just like a donkey. Sucking on her lips sweet just like a candy. Mommy got me feeling just like a junkie. I'm coming for your body girl just like a zombie. She say I got drive, she love it when I ride her. Yeah we outside but she want me inside her. Red Bull energy I never get tired. She drop it down low then she bring it up higher. Pretty mommy won't you shake that body. I got the ice, let me rub it on your body. I'm about to lose it cause you know that you got it. Green light, baby can't stop it.
Baby girl got that boom.
Great change in vocal texture here.
Giving me the green light. Screaming like a hyena. Baby girl tell me how you got that body. Is it from your mommy? Cause she got that bomba too.
Baby so bomba, sweet body bumper. Make my saliva drip from the hunger. Pull her in closer, she love when I choke her. Sucking on her body, call me the king cobra. Baby love it when I ride it just like a donkey. Sucking on her lips sweet just like a candy. Mommy got me feeling just like a junkie. I'm coming for your body girl just like a zombie. She got that bumper, sweet Willy Wonka. Call me King Kong cause me ready for conquer. Back it up, just like a tonka. Dump truck, let's get wild like a conga. Working up a sweat like we sitting in a sauna. I murdered that body, I'm guilty of honor. I asked her, should I stop? She said, nah. I love that peach and she loved that banana. Yeah, man. Baby girl, you know you're the baddest man, you know that, right?
Baby girl got that. She be riding me like, giving me the green light, screaming like a hyena. Baby girl, tell me how you got that body. Is it from your mommy? Cause she got that bomba too.
Bomba, baby.
That was a sensory overload, but I kind of dig it. I see what they're going for here. We're going to talk about this track more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named CosMatrix titled BOMBA. What do I think this track's about? I think patently it's simply about someone being really attractive to the woman, admiring their body, talking about their ass and all those other kind of things, like wondering where they got it from, the stuff they do together, etc. It's very much oriented in that front. And I think it's not... It's very sort of like, it's 110% about that. I vibe with that. I think if you're going to do a song about this kind of stuff, you've really got to kind of like really commit to it. Otherwise, it kind of sort of feels a bit half-assed, you know? I feel like the vocal style there with two different sort of like rappers, they were very distinct in their vocal ranges and timbres, so it was very easy to hear them and tell them apart. I liked the style of it. I think one was sort of more sort of tuned than the other. They had more sort of melodic approach to it as opposed to the rhythmic one on the other side in the lower range. It was just great to go back and forth between those, and they were very sort of clear with the words and the phrasing there. It was fantastic. It was nice to sort of have like the spoken intro at the start again, kind of reinforcing things as it built. And yeah, honestly, the wordplay was solid. I appreciate it. There was stuff like the Wonka references and everything like that, and the peach bananas and all that kind of stuff. And I think that it was handled in a way that was relatively classy for, you know, the kind of content that we were discussing. I think as well, just before we move on, the vocals rhythmically, they had a great sense of unity with what was going on with like the bass and the drum parts with like the 808s and those sort of reggaetonish kind of like kicks and sort of like flat patterns and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's just a great sort of sense of synergy with the rest of the elements. It's good self-awareness. Like, even from the get-go with that synth riser that we had there and the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba on the sides, this is quite a well-produced track. There was this sort of main theme that continues throughout it. Like, the bass line doesn't really necessarily change too much. Maybe there's like a 2 or 3 note sort of diversion from it, but we're always going back to that low note because of how like full it sounds. but just how we niche the sequences, an upper range on top of that, allowing plenty of range in the stereo field for things to sort of mist around. The 808 and the low end with reinforcing that root note sounding just thick and full, and there's absolutely no filler within this track. We get that immediately. We know what kind of force we're dealing with. And what I like about the drums in particular is that we not only have these kind of really solid, kind of thunky, kind of like drum sounds there that are well polished and compressed. You also have these reverb tails on them, which sounds quite professional grade in regards to just kind of the boxiness of that tone. It has more presence because you're capturing the reverb within that compressor. It's dope. And there's these interesting vocal harmonies that go throughout there on the with the higher mid-range kind of like singer that was in those some of those chorus parts. And I dig the fact that there were these sort of vocal chops that were feeding off of it, and how when there were the harmonies, maybe in the caller responses, they were upper pitched up an octave and they kind of floated around the headphones as well. Great use of the stereo field. And there were parts as well where there was simply no bass. It was just the drums and it was the vocalists doing their thing. And it was great to have that thing where it wasn't a lack of loudness because the drums were still thumping away. It's just that there's a perceived change in the dynamic range because of the adjustments in the instrumental layering. And I feel like that's a great way to switch things up, even in a track which is 2.5 minutes long. Because 2.5 minutes is not long for a song. It's well within that 2 to 4 minute sweet spot, where if it's shorter than 2 minutes, you might be missing context. And if it's longer than 4 minutes, you know, you're starting to get kind of really kind of potentially a little bit kind of nervous about, you know, like how do we keep things fresh beyond that 4 minutes? You know, and just like the green light references and everything like with the skirt kind of stuff, I can't do it. But just these sounds that we make as well, where we are constantly paying attention to what we need to do in order to keep things sounding fresh and interesting and unique. And it's a fantastic vibe throughout. And I appreciate the attention to detail. And the theme overall kind of makes me feel as if it's trying to sort of like kind of a dance floor, kind of like you want people to groove along to it and dance to it and enjoy themselves to it. But there's also like an inherent kind of raunchiness and sexiness to it that plays out as well. You can kind of enjoy it by yourself or you can enjoy it in the club. And I feel like duality is kind of what you need within this genre. And so like when you combine those different elements, again with the minor feel to it, that kind of like that sort of sensuality to it, with the simplicity of the harmonies, with the choices of textures and timers within the instruments, you get a piece where it's clearly trying to be a style of music where it would fit again into like a DJ set or whatever, but also stand alone on its own. It's very easy to understand what's going on. It's very sort of accessible. And it's not trying to overcomplicate the message or the attraction that they have towards this person. They've been caring about this person, but they're also like really into them. But the studio recording, mixing and mastering is commercial grade. Really satisfied with the way that they put that across. No complaints at all. I don't know what they could have done to improve it. I feel like the vocals, whether they were like the main, like the lower part range or the higher range with a bit of modulation, the repeaters or the backing vocals with like the extra panned out parts there, that's commercial grade stuff. It's very professional. The way that's been sort of treated and panned. The basses or the synth sequences on the sides there, or the rises or the 808s, how they've been EQ'd and kind of glued in the low end, or the drums with how they sidechain into the mix are really well handled as well. And there is dynamic range through the instrument layering, and it's very loud. It's nice and loud but it's without pumping. Like it's still handled in a way where there's nothing sort of weird going on about it. It's still very polished. But that's effectively my review of this track from an act named CosMatrix, titled BOMBA, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and the YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.